Collinwood, at the turn of the century. A house which harbors a new and dreadful secret. For the Quentin Collins who walks its halls is Count Potoffi, who has accomplished his most amazing feat. His mind and spirit now exist in Quentin's body, while Quentin's mind is trapped in the powerless body of Potoffi. No one believes his plea that he is Quentin, except Julia Hoffman, who has suddenly disappeared before his eyes.
Julia? Julia!
She must have returned to 1969. But how? Why? Just as she was about to tell me what help was coming for me.
Julia, come back!
She can't come back. I'm alone, with no one believing that I am actually Quentin. I am alone.
Count Potoffi! What are you doing here? What?
What do you want?
Now, surely you must know why I'm here. Oh, come now, Count. You can be honest with me. Didn't you cause me to come here the other night? I don't believe you.
You were in a trance.
And you deny causing it? What have you done with the woman who lived here?
She's gone. Back to her own time.
What are you talking about?
Called back to her own body in 1969.
You're talking nonsense, Count.
I am not Count Potoffi. I can explain. Please let me.
I had heard you'd gone mad.
That's not true.
No, it's not. Now, tell me what you've done with the woman who lived here.
Nothing. I wanted her to stay. She believed me. She believed I am Quentin.
Count, I know you well enough to know that you're up to something.
You know me well enough?
I cannot forget what you did to me in England as conveniently as you can.
I know nothing about England. Nothing about you. Or Potoffi. How can I make you understand?
Why are you doing this? Why? Who are you plotting against? Me? The Collins? Or only that poor woman who lived here? Tell me!
I can't convince her. But if I can't, can I use her? If she thinks I am Potoffi, and if she knew him before, then she must have known his powers and been afraid of him.
How wise you are for one so beautiful, Lady Hampshire.
You are incredible.
But you have always known that.
No, not always, unfortunately. Even I was fooled at first. Now tell me what you've done with that woman who lived here.
I told you. She is gone.
Count Potoffi, were you afraid that she would tell me why I was drawn here? Was she an ally or an enemy?
I shall leave that for you to decide.
Ah. So you want me to continue to wonder what's happening to me? Why I am suddenly not myself? So that in the end you can accomplish what you set out to do.
You really think I'm the one responsible for your strange behavior?
Who else could be?
I shall let you think about that, too. In the meantime, there's something I want you to get for me.
I will do nothing for you.
But you will, my dear. Or you will disappear as poor Julia did.
Please please find somebody else. Leave me alone.
There is no one else.
But there must be. I won't help you. I saw what helping you did to Gerald.
You remember this hand, Lady Hampshire? Look at it. It has certain powers. If I pass it over your face, you will disappear. Shall I prove it to you?
No.
Then you will get me what I want. There's a picture, a portrait of Quentin, painted by Charles Tate. You will find it in Quentin's room. I want you to bring it to me.
I can't steal a portrait. If I'm caught, I'll be ruined.
You'll have to be very clever, won't you? It is now 7:30. I want the picture by 9 o'clock. Hide it in your room. I'll tell you where to bring it.
You're inhuman.
No, Lady Hampshire. Far more human than you imagine. What was that? That noise. What was it? This house is empty. There it is again. Did you hear it?
I think so.
There is someone here. Who is in this house? Who?
I know who it is. I know who it is. He wants us to go.
Who wants us to go? Lady Hampshire?
I'm afraid it might upset Kitty if I took it down. Perhaps the best thing is to forget what Barnabas Collins was. He's merely an ancestor now.
No better or no worse than some of the others.
How can you say that?
I'm a realist, Edward. I believe in being honest.
Throughout your life, you've managed to conceal that fact very well.
Ah, but I've changed, Edward.
I hope so for your sake. You're starting a new life now with your marriage to Angelique. I hope you've learned from your past experience that in marriage, the old rules are the proper ones. What time is the ceremony tomorrow?
2 o'clock, I believe.
Edward! Oh, Edward!
Kitty! What's wrong?
That house!
What house? Where have you
It
been?
was the rectory.
The rectory?
It's
Why?
haunted. It's haunted. I swear it is. And that woman, she's gone. She's gone.
What do you mean, gone?
She's disappeared. Oh,
Quentin!
Edward, what am I going to do? What? That curse, it keeps following me. Edward, help me. Help me.
I don't understand why you felt compelled to go to that house.
Edward, I don't know the reason. Please don't press me.
Oh, I'm sorry, my dear. I certainly don't mean to. I'm just trying to make sense of what doesn't seem to make any sense at all. As far as I'm concerned, there was no one living in the rectory.
But she was. I saw her.
How do you know she disappeared?
Well, the house was deserted and...
Was there a sign of a struggle or of violence?
Edward, please, I can't explain.
But don't you know her name? What did she look like?
She was tall and very thin with short hair.
Red hair?
Yes,
Did she have an angular face?
yes.
Then I've met her.
Where?
Right here in this very room. Charity Trask discovered her lying unconscious outside. Her dress was indescribable. She didn't know who she was or where she was. When I went to call the doctor, she had escaped. And to think that she's been living in the rectory all this time. But why?
Edward, we've got to find her. Somehow she's involved in what's been happening to me.
Oh, Kitty.
She has. Edward. Edward, you've been so kind and understanding. You know how these attacks have affected me, and I'm beginning to be so afraid.
No, Kitty, don't. You mustn't be.
Edward, I just never know when they're going to occur. Sometimes I think they're just going to continue forever, and I'm going to be someone that I don't know, someone else.
Katie, you can't go on like this.
Please, if it weren't for you, for your sympathy.
Oh, Kitty, I haven't been able to do enough. I want to do more, much more. What is it? Oh, Nora, dear, come in.
Jameson won't play with me. He says checkers are for girls and sissies.
Oh, that's nonsense.
Will you play with me then? I guess you don't want to right now.
Oh, no, dear, I'd like to very much, but there's something I must do. I'm going to the rectory. I'm going to find out for myself what's going on here.
Edward.
Now, I insist I'm going to be perfectly all right.
I don't want you to do that just for me.
My dear, I insist on going. Now, I tell you what. Lady Hampshire will play checkers with you.
Why, of course I will.
As a matter of fact, you will be doing me a favor staying with her until I return. I'll be back shortly.
Can you play checkers?
It's been a very long time since I've played. I don't really know. Why don't you go set up your checkerboard, and I'm sure I'll remember.
You don't want to play with me, do you?
Yes, of course I do.
Then why were you frowning?
Well, it's just that I didn't realize how late it was.
8 o'clock's not late. For a grown-up, anyway.
Well, no, of course not. You are right, Nora. Shall we play?
I haven't finished setting up the checkers yet.
Oh. Do you know, Nora, when I lived in England, before my husband died, how often I wished I might have a little girl like you.
Why didn't you then?
Well, we can't always have what we want when we want it. But now I'm here, and you're here. We're going to become very good friends, aren't we?
The board's ready now. Do you remember how to start?
You start, Nora, and I'm sure I'll remember. Did you play checkers with your mother often?
Yes.
You must miss her a great deal. Well, I'm sure you do.
She was very pretty.
Yes, I've seen her picture.
It's your turn.
There. Dear.
You aren't just letting me win, are you?
Why would I do a thing like that?
So I wouldn't lose. Grown-ups do things like that.
Not this grown-up. This grown-up likes to win. Nora, why don't we just talk? I'll concede the game to you. I want you to tell me all about yourself. What you like, whom you admire. So many men in the Collins family. We women have to band together, don't you think? Don't you?
Are you going to marry my father?
Why, Nora?
Is that why you want to be friends?
Nora, your father and I are simply very fond of each other.
I see.
Well, now, that doesn't bother you, does it? Surely you want your father to be happy.
Yes. Yes, I do. I want that.
I might have known.
Oh, I'm merely investigating, just as you are.
No, not as I am. Not as I am at all. You're somehow involved in this, Quentin. Who is this woman? How do you know her? Where is she? I want answers, Quentin. Truthful answers.
You never will change, will you, Edward? Anything you don't understand, you blame on me.
Usually with reason. You were with that woman when she disappeared from Collinwood. I'm beginning to think that you let her go.
Edward, what an imagination. You ever thought of becoming a novelist? Now, are we going to stand here and fight each other? Or are we going to search this house to see what's happening here? Which do you choose?
Well, the house has been lived in. That much is obvious. I don't know what to do. Quentin, with all of his instincts for scavenging, is still looking. For what I can't imagine. Oh, I'm sorry. I needn't remind you about all of that.
Oh, I had forgotten playing checkers with Nora. Oh, she's such a dear child.
That's very kind of you to say that.
No, I mean it. Really, Edward. We're going to become very good friends, Nora and I.
She needs someone like you very, very much. I'm glad that you were able to forget for a little while. You've learned so many of our family secrets and the scandals. Have they turned you against us?
Nothing could, Edward. Absolutely nothing.
So you have come back, huh?
Would not have come if I'd known you were here.
Oh? I should think that you would enjoy seeing me. Most people want to see themselves as others see them.
Could kill you.
Oh? And what a strange suicide that would be. The man who killed himself remained alive in another body. No, you won't do that. I know why you're here. You were counting on her help. But you're not going to get it, are you? Because you know she's gone. Yes, I would say that it's safe to assume that her time was up here, and that she has gone back to her own era. Quite happily so, I would imagine. Whatever she was doing here these past weeks, when Barnabas Collins was destroyed, whatever she was doing is unfinished. Do you know what that was? No. Of course you don't. You were looking for it, too. But I'm afraid, Quentin, that I do not choose to let you know. Am I going to have to force you to leave? The power of the hand is here.
You will not get away with this.
You go tell your sad story to someone else. There's nothing you can do. No one would believe you. You are nothing but a senile old man raving mad. Now run along, my boy.
Well, Nora, did you enjoy your game with Lady Hampshire?
We never finished it.
Oh. She's very nice, isn't she?
If you say so, Father.
Nora, shall we finish our game?
Oh, that's 9:15. You ought to be asleep by 9, Nora.
All right, Father. Good night.
Good night, dear. Say good night to Lady Hampshire.
Oh, Kitty, please.
Good night, Lady Hampshire.
Well, shall we have a nightcap?
No, please, not tonight, Edward. It's been an exhausting day, and if you'll excuse me, Edward.
Certainly, my dear.